So the problem I've had for a while is I can't commit to Minecraft worlds. Recently, I tried to get one going in August of last year, but that didn't work out because I got burnt out and I just did not want to keep building in it. So, on the 29th of December last year, I created this one, starting in beta 1.7.3, upgraded to the beta 1.8 on the 31st of December, and then I upgraded to 1.0 at the start of this year. At the time of recording this, it is the 15th of January 2025, which feels really weird to say out loud. And I'm going to be upgrading to 1.1 tomorrow. But before I do that, I want to give a brief tour of my world and how it currently looks, so that I can see how far I get by the end of this month. If I turn around, I'm going to start with my old room here. I had a bed here, and I had chests going up, because I couldn't really stagger how I wanted to because you couldn't put them between each other. Beta 1.7, a lot of people that play it will know that, but I didn't. Moving upstairs, there is my current bedroom, which overlooks the lake that I have decided to build a space around, because I've decided to tunnel into this mountain. And there is this area that I'm still not quite sure what I want to do anything with, but I'm sure I'll think of something. I have a minecart in here. I have to go back down to grab a minecart, I'm pretty sure. Yep, I was right. So I've built a railway that goes through the different main rooms of my base. Which, if I take it this way, bring us past the pride flag, give us a nice view of the base below, take us into my original room. And when I started expanding this way, and that goes down back to the main room. This was going to be like the actual room. I liked it because it's overlooking the lake again, but I didn't like it, and I decided the view there would be better. And this also connects to another room. It connects to the farm, which I haven't harvested in a while, and I probably should. Actually, I think I'm going to do it now. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Crops travel really, really easily. Now, if we go further down, oh! A dark spot in this base, I just know it. There we go. So, this was going to be my map room, like a base of operations, but that hasn't worked out, because the terrain is just not favorable, and I'm trying to avoid editing the terrain as much as possible. And there is a bridge here. There's a lot of bridges in this valley. If you recognize this seed, drop a comment below, because it might be a bit obvious if you're a beta aficionado, unlike me. But more on that in a bit. If I go up these stairs, still getting used to having to double tap W to sprint, you get more of a view. There's a desert over that way. There's this room, which I forgot what it was going to be. A balcony, so you can overlook the rest of the base. And further down here, there is another room that connects to the train line. If you were to go through this, it would end up taking you into here. Then if you go up the stairs, and I still need to properly move this about, you go up these stairs I built yesterday, you enter my wizard tower. It's about 30 blocks tall, and uses a netherrack roof. I'm gonna be honest, netherrack both looks ugly and also makes one of the best roofs I can think of in this game. Like, am I the only one that thinks that? I feel like I might be a bit weird for thinking that, but I want to see what other people think. And here is the first enchanting room I built, but it is not very practical, so it's mostly just here for decoration. If I go this way, this brings me to another bridge that lets me overlook the lake that my base is built around. And it brings me to... Can I hit that guy from... Hold on. I guess I won't. It brings me to this room, which I dug out yesterday. It's the day before, one of the two. I'm not sure what to do with it, but I'm sure I'll think of something. And it also, conveniently, connects to my staircase. There's another room up here, which gives me a view of the wizard tower and a fort I built over there to grow pumpkins. And this room, in particular, takes me to the fort complex I have built atop this valley. This bridge is going to go to a fort over here that I am yet to build. That tower was the first structure I built in this area alongside that bridge. But there is no railway connection to it. You have to walk. But it does take you to some other places that I have built on this side of the valley. This is a wooden fort that I was going to make more use of, like an environmental storage perspective. But I haven't, because I forgot I built that. I'm going to move on very quickly. And here is the 2025 sign. When I built this, I thought it was facing north because the sun rose in that direction in beta and naturally set in that direction. But it turns out they were flipped. So the sun rose in the north and set in the south, and that's the east, and this is the west. What kind of place is... Oh. What kind of place is this? It's such an awful thing. I don't know why I'm so hung up on it still. Anyway, these pumpkins are still facing the cardinal directions, and that's what matters. So just lighting this area up as I am touring, because I haven't done that for a while. And it actually gives me quite a convenient route to the other fort, which is down this way. This fort was hard to build because I kept running out of cobblestone while I was building it, which, not ideal. And I kind of... Oh god. Let's do that. I kind of can't build without cobblestone, you know? This fort is a lot smaller and a lot more compact, and it's surrounded by spruce trees, among other things. And down there are some sheep and cows that I'm trying to breed, but right now it feels a bit pointless because sheep don't regrow their wool in 1.0. That's being added in 1.1. That's a story for another day. Because this loops back around to the fort I was in previously, because there are things in here I just realized I forgot to show you. There is an observation deck, which gives me a nice view of most of the world from the chunk distance. Y122, relatively unobstructed. Relatively. There is a wheat farm that I will harvest later. And there is a slightly more practical enchanter in here. Now, if you don't remember, enchanting used to go up to level 50. This room only goes to level 43, but that might be because I'm only level 22. So I'll have to fact check that later. But I am waiting to get to level 30 so I can start enchanting at around 1.3. Which would be in a couple of weeks from now. Towards the end of February. I've spawned so frequently. And there's another exit down there from the original entrance to my base. which I am still thinking of fortifying, but I presently haven't. So if you let me just go down here. So I was about to go and show you the pumpkin fort, but I realized I did not show off the fact that there is a storage room in here, which has a bit of a low ceiling, but I am working on that, kinda, sorta. I'm trying. You got cobblestone, you got other stone, wood, plants, wood, precious minerals, and cocoa beans, because cocoa beans are extremely rare in older versions. They won't start appearing naturally until beta release 1.2. Redstone, mob loot, dirt, gravel, and the tools that are breaking, and like bucket collections and dungeons. This is also the only room that uses brick, because I haven't used brick yet. Anyway, now I've actually shown you that, I need to figure out a way to get down here more easily, for one, but that's not important. What it is I need to rush on over here to show you the pumpkin fort. There's a creeper explosion here at the start of this world. I've been too lazy to patch it up. At this point, I've kind of just left as like a national heritage thing. Yeah, this is the pumpkin fort. I wanted to build a pumpkin farm in my main base, but I couldn't find a place to put it, so I built it over here. I don't know if this is a bug or intentional, but all pumpkins grow facing north. Which... is that supposed to happen? Wait, no, they face south. Is that supposed to happen? I don't think it is. But if someone who's more well versed in older versions could enlighten me on how that works, I would most appreciate it. And this was also supposed to be finished, but I like the slightly damaged aesthetic it has going on as a result of me not finishing it. So I've left it. And the last thing I'm going to show you as of this version of the world is the savannah where all of the passive mobs live. And there is this hill where I found my first wolf, but the wolf was killed by a zombie when he had the nightmare mechanic. So this grave is here instead. I kind of forgot about that actually, I feel kind of bad. But, moving on, as all things must. This is part of the passive mob area. I can't be jump out of the sheep. I am trying to get this to work. I would put them in pens, but I think they can kind of just jump out in the older versions. Also, the mob AI is incredibly, annoyingly, frustratingly stupid, so I don't want to work with it. So there's not really a point. The mobs just kind of hang out in this corner. This is not originally a savannah. This generated in 1.8, and it's just kind of been like this since. So while I am heading in this direction, there is actually something I remembered I need to show you. I said this is going to be the last thing, but I remembered something else that is of note. There's some very interesting world generation just this way. I hate the old swimming mechanics, I just want it to be known. So I didn't notice until like a few days ago when I went this way for the first time. First of all, there is a partially generated village with a single inhabitant, He just kind of lives there, I guess. Doesn't do much. But that's not the important part. What is the way the water generates. See, the water level in most versions of the game now is Y63. It was Y64 in beta, which I did not know. So if you have a world in beta 1.73 and you upgrade it to 1.8 and then 1.0, there is a chance you will have errors like this in your world. I can't be the first person to have seen this. Does anyone else have this in their world? Do let me know. And lastly, over there is the mob spawner, which I created because I wanted to grind EXP, and it kind of works, but also it doesn't really work. It's weird. I'll find more effective ways of getting EXP in the future. Before I go, let's pay a visit to, well, Dr. Treyaris by the looks of it, actually. Hey man, how's it going? Okay. So, that's it for this world tour for this part of the game. I will be updating you in a couple of weeks' time, hopefully. So until then, see you later.